What's up, guys? Welcome to the Steve Bizzogany Show. Today's going to be a fun topic. We're actually going to be talking about the topic of copywriting and what makes people buy. So I think it's a very appropriate start to this episode to be talking about a book that I just recently read called Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. I think it's a brilliant book. It talks about sales. It talks about what makes people buy and what doesn't. And when things don't convert on your advertisements, I think, it talks about how copy is literally the number one reason why. And I think it's an awesome book. And we as real estate agents, I think many of us don't put a lot of emphasis on copywriting when we go to sell our listings. We don't take into consideration the three main aspects of writing bullet points or the number one biggest secret to copywriting, which is like he'll talk about headlines and why they're so important, literally critically important. And there's all these cool other nuggets in there for your sales performance. So and implementing them will obviously increase your sales. It's awesome. It's an awesome book. Highly recommend it. But some of the cool things I do want to talk about in relation to that book, I want to talk about the topic of what makes people buy. We as real estate agents, we sell real estate, the most expensive asset there is. So we have to know what makes people buy. And some of the things that I've learned over the years, and by reading the books like Copywriting Secrets, and other books as well, is that I know for me as a millennial member of the millennial generation, we can see a sales pitch. We can actually even feel it from like a mile away. Like we just know it's coming. The second you text us and say, "Hey, what's going on, man?" Like I know something's coming that I don't want. We know right away. But so here's the thing. However, we're just like every other generation. We like to buy things. And this isn't just a millennial thing. People like to buy. They don't like to be sold to. They don't like to feel like they've gotten strong-armed. They like to purchase. They like to buy. People don't like to be sold to. They like to buy. So like I was saying, when they feel like they're the ones making the decision, it's more comfortable. It's more exhilarating. I think there is a study that says there is some kind of dopamine release or something. Well, I don't know what the hormone is. I'm not the specialist in this field, but I think it's some kind of a dopamine release when people do buy something. There's like an excitement hormone that releases when you do buy things. So it's an exciting process, and people want to be the ones in the driver's seat, and they want to feel like they're the ones in the driver's seat. So also on that note of buying things, know this: people don't buy what they need; they buy what they want. So, and that makes perfect sense because there has been so many clients that I've worked with over the years that we have walked into the perfect home. It hits every freaking checkbox that they are looking for. It literally checks off every item. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is obviously the house. They're all excited for it. And this is it. We're writing an offer. Like, no doubt about it. And they don't write an offer. They actually pass on it. Steve, it's not right for us. I'm like, what do you mean it's not right for us? Like it checks every box. Like, what are you talking about? So, and I think that's what it's not what they need. It is what they need, but it's not what they want. And people buy what they want, not what they need. And it makes perfect sense because I never figured that out. I never understood I'm like, what is wrong with you? You're literally, the house is everything you asked for. It's everything you said you need. It's there. But it's not what they wanted, so they didn't buy it. So, just to reiterate, people buy what they want, not what they need. And so when it comes to, I did post in a Facebook group about open houses and things. And one of the people who commented on it was an interest, which I agree with 100%, which is why I'm going to talk about it real quick. Is when you're trying to sell something to someone, don't just go right into a sales pitch. I mean, I have got people on Instagram and Facebook, and they say, Steve, you're doing so well. You've got this going on. You've got so many, you've got people coming to your Instagram. You've got people coming to your Facebook page. You've got this podcast going on. Like, man, I could really help you out, blah, blah, blah. Like, you should do this, and try to pitch me on something. And it's just like, you don't even know who I am. You don't know anything about me. You are, you have no idea what I sell outside of my, what my side businesses are versus my real estate career. Like, you don't know anything. Like, and you're just trying to pitch me on something. Like, I don't even know who you are for that matter. I think that's a really crappy way to go about sales. And I think a lot of real estate agents, when they first get started, is they think that that's a good way to go. That's how to treat people. And one of the guys that in this Facebook group I was talking about, his open house comment that he made was, when you walk into an open house, like when people walk into your open house, talk to them, have a conversation with them, get to know them, build a relationship with them. Don't be pushy. Just find out what they're looking for. Talk to them a little bit and enjoy getting to know them. And don't be pushy. Let them do their own thing and provide value. And if you can provide value and separate yourself from the market, good. Do that. Show that you're knowledgeable. Show that you're trustworthy. A lot of other comments did say these same things. This one woman said that she likes to exude trustworthiness. And she said it's kind of an innate ability of hers. And I kind of agree with her, because I did ask her, how do you communicate your trustworthiness? And she said it's kind of hard to quantify. So I think it's kind of hard to, it is kind of hard to explain and quantify that. So it's kind of maybe like a learn on the job kind of thing. And even on a podcast like this, it's hard for me to even communicate that as well. So you do have to learn how to have a good vibe about you, because that first 6 seconds, I think in The Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy, I read that people will make a decision to work with you in the first 6 seconds or something like that. You are hired or fired in that first 6 seconds of meeting somebody. So it better be a damn good 6 seconds. So a good way to correct this or a good way to, I guess, approach this would be to think about how you like to be sold to. Like for me, I like to be sold to, where I like people to build relationships with me. I like for people to ask me about myself. Be like, hey, Steve, I know you're a real estate agent, but I also know that you coach other real estate agents and help them start off and continue to grow as quickly as you did in your career. And I know that you have helped other realtors sell even past what you sell. Or little things like that people don't originally know about me on the surface. Or I know you have a Bernese Mountain Dog and a Pit Bull mix, and then they both like to sleep a lot, things like that. And when people build that relationship with me, and then they show their value of who they are. I guess I've heard today into 2020, everybody's on their phone, everything's social media, everything's digital. But when people actually, I love it when I meet another millennial who comes up to me and I can just shake their hand, make good eye contact with them, and be like, great to meet you, smile, eye contact. That tells me so much about a person when I have that. And when I don't have that, and when people are just stuck on their phone, when I was in college, talking to some of the girls, I was just I have family members. Let's put it this way. I had family members and just like these girls I was dating before I met my wife, it was just they never, ever, ever look up from their phone. And it was just where did the humanity go? Now, this is coming from me. I didn't have a phone I couldn't even text until I was 17 years old. So I did grow up socializing with people. I finally got a phone that could text. I think right before college, I got that phone. I could finally text message. So I made it to about 18 before I started sending text messages for real. But not having that, I think it was the greatest blessing in the world. So anyway, I'm starting to go on a little bit of a rant here, and I'm going to cut this off right now before this gets too long. So anyway, just think about a lot of the things that we talked about, learn about copywriting. I do recommend getting the book Copywriting Secrets. Learn about what makes people buy, what makes people don't, what makes people not buy. And then think about the way you like to be sold to. Always build a relationship. The relationship is the most important. People do cherish the relationship. It is a principle. It will last throughout the test of time because it is a principle, and principles don't die. So I hope you guys got a lot of value out of that. I apologize for the small rant, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.